confuse the yellow Sally with a caddis pattern just because of its size. But after closer observation, if you can detect that you have a yellow Sally, you can have some incredible fishing. Let me show you how to tie this one here. To begin with, we're going to use a 2 or 3x long nymph hook with a ring eye. And we'll just get our thread attached here. The one key aspects of the yellow Sally that fish tend to key in on is its egg sac. For the egg sac, what I'm going to be using is some trilobal dubbing. Use a bright color, so just pull some of that out of there, kind of twist it around a little bit. And we're going to even it up, and we'll come in here and tie that in there. And we're going to cut it pretty darn short, just like that. And just so we don't have a blunt cut off area, I always kind of like to round it off just a little bit. That'll do. Now we're ready to tie in our tail. And our tail is also going to be our body material, and that's going to be some yellow turkey biots. And we'll take a couple of those and we'll put them in there so they're kind of splayed out from one another. Even up the tips, just like that. And tie those down good. Next thing we're going to do is take and wrap the excess tail. Just use that for a little bit of an underbody. Might as well utilize what we got here without wasting material. Just kind of go back and forth, and we can build up a nice taper here. Now generally you're going to be tying this in a size 16, maybe even an 18, so that extra step for the underbody won't be quite necessary. Now we're going to wrap our buyout forward, and we want to make sure we have a fuzzy rib. So I'm going to have to twist that buyout, make sure I'm getting where I want. There we go. And we just start wrapping it forward. Nice even segments. Another alternative, instead of using yellow, for some small adult stoneflies, it's kind of a pale yellow or a brighter yellow or olive color. Not all your small stoneflies are yellow, but they do have that olive tint to it. So if you happen to have those in your area, just substitute the appropriate colored buyout. Now we're towards the back of the thorax, and we're going to tie in an underwing. For the underwing, you can use light elk, or what I'll use right here is some pale yellow deer hair. So I'll just snip some of that out. Take out the under fur. Since that looked pretty irregular to me, I'm going to have to stack that. We'll stick that in our stonefly hair stacker. Give it a few taps and even up the tips. Give it a nice little flip there and just clean up the whole thing a little bit. Got a few too many fibers in there. There we go. And we're going to go to just about to where the egg sac is. Come in, take several turns, and as you wrap back, kind of ease up a little bit on your tension. That way it doesn't flare quite as bad. Cut off our excess, and we're ready to tie in our hackle. For the hackle, what I'll be using is whiting saddle hackle in a pale yellow color. Grab one of these. Look at that. Just look how long that thing is. We can get several flies out of that thing. Tie in our hackle. And we're going to come forward here. And we're going to tie in our wing. For our wing, we're going to be using the medallion sheeting. You can use the dun yellow color, clear, or what I'm going to be using here is the light dun color. So we'll cut a strip of this, just like so. And we're ready to tie this in. We'll just do this real quick with a figure 8 right behind the hook eye. Give it a nice little tug, and we can just pull it out of the way for a moment. Now we're ready to dub the thorax. For the thorax, we're going to use some micro dry fly dubbing. We're going to be using the sulfur yellow color. And let's get some of this on our thread. Build up our thorax. And we'll just cover up our thorax here with this dubbing and end up so our thread's right up front. And then we're going to take and hackle our thorax. Get up to the hook eye, tie it off, snip out our excess there. And what we're going to do is just trim it, the hackle flat on top. Get the excess out of there. Then we're going to tie in some antennas. For the antenna, what we'll be using are the mayfly tails, or probably what you're better know them as, microfibbits. So we'll select a couple fibers here. And what really helps to do this is if you have a darker colored background so you can see what you're doing. And then we're going to take that extra one out. We have the tips here, and we're going to make it so it's about the length of to where our tail is. Tie it down right behind the hook eye. Now you're going to start wrapping back into the thorax and tying those antennas down. Then you want to come to the front and cut off your excess. With our thread in the back, we're now going to take the wing and fold it over the top, tie it down, do the same thing with the other wing, tie it down, take a couple turns, cinch up on it, come forward, take another turn of thread, cinch down on it. Now we're ready to bring our antenna forward. Bring those forward, and you want to do them one at a time. That way you can make sure that they're kind of splayed out, looking a lot more natural. Like so. Take another turn there, cinch down. Then we're going to take our thread up to the hook eye, and we're ready to whip finish it off. Come in here, finish off our fly. And the last thing we can do here is trim up our wings. We're going to want those to be about the length of our tail. And we can just round those off a little bit. Make them look a little more natural. Once you get that done, you can pull some hackle down along the side there, making it look a little more natural. Have our antennas sticking out the front. And when it's all done, we have what I like to call a yellow Sally.